how Onic will, or sorry, how BTR will utilize this lineup that is really front-facing against Onic. Apart from the Novaria, everybody wants to dive in front of Onic. And Onic, they do have two tanky dudes, but they only have one tool to really hold down BTR, and that is this Wrath of the Dryad, which means that Sans will have a lot of responsibilities with a duality being procced. Granted, the Wrath of the Dryad is a good tool to allow the Sans to continuously proc the duality passive, but it is going to be a difficult task for Sans for sure.
See if he's able to do it. This first turtle's up. Both gold laners going to go ahead and chill in the gold lane while this is just going to be a 4v4. Niall's going to go ahead and grab his buff, but they might just go for this. A little bit of a taunt. Unbreakable on Keyboy. He's got to go ahead and back off, disengage. Alutfi has got the Consecrate. They got control of this first turtle, so Onic might be able to secure this. Let's see if they make it happen. Kyrie able to get the Retribution off, but they're going to go for the fight anyway, and Lutfi trying to get away. He's going to get chased down.
Output of Suns will be just really high because you're just constantly throwing away your orbs, and the rotation that you get with the second skill of the Louis, combine that to ricochet so much that they end up just being blown away by Suns, which is literally what happened in there. And then the teleport afterwards, my god, Louis coming out from Suns, that guy's scary.
I think the Louis is going to just be a pickup that we see more and more.
Sinyal, sinyal.
Maybe even, unless some major changes happen between now and the next tournaments, of course, but it's working out really well, especially when you have the Wrath of the Dryad from the Velrek. It just makes things happen. Look at this. They're going for on the Hirara. He locked in his Fury Hammer. Then he's starting to just go with the Sky Piercer because he wants to start building stacks early on, I believe. And that's all possible. You know, you got an early kill on. You've got momentum in your favor. You're 3,000 gold ahead at this point. And now the second turtle is up. Kyrie, go ahead and start this one up. Emon is here, though. So now gold laners will be a part of this fight.
Sinyal, sinyal.
And taunt afterwards. It's a chain stun between the Barons as well as they're gonna catch us. They go in bottom lane.
Okay, Keyboy unfortunately gonna die there, but it made sense what Onic wanted to do. They give a kill over, and they didn't overcommit because I thought Kyrie with a couple stacks might have tried to do something, but they just kind of pull off there. That turret's almost down. That's one of the main things that Onic wanted to go ahead and do, give Kelra that advantage. You can already see the advantage building up, though, too, in the jungle, man. Kyrie, again, a couple levels ahead right now of Niall. He's been taking his buffs. He's about to hit that level 10, and he continues to do so. Just as he does, he hits level 10. So that gives him, again, an advantage that he can work with into the next turtle. But so far, Niall at least has been able to swing in, do a little bit. Threat like this on Sans, even doing more than a little bit as he takes him out. Good play there. I didn't know if he'd be able to get him that fast, but he does.
Well, with the help of his teammates, and of course, the fact that you have a lot of damage coming out from Moreno, especially if that Astral Echo is delayed up. That allowed for BTR to burst down Suns and shut him down. Has been a problem for them for quite a while now. 6 minutes in, there's a lead that Onic have already built, and it's 15 seconds before the next turtle. Lutpi already clearing the mid, whereas Keyboy, he wants to position aggressively as well up top. Maybe help his teammate Kelra here push before they prep for the turtle.
Yeah, so they got that push going in. Last turtle of the game is up. Still a couple thousand gold ahead right now is Onic. Kyrie has control of this turtle. We'll see if they do anything, but Niall's just going to go down to the bot. They're going to trade it for a turret for the turtle. So they go for that. Diversion going to be used. This is what we were talking about, though. They send themselves down towards this bottom side, but that turret will be pushed. So this is about as good as it gets for Bigatron by Vitality right now. Daytona's welcome into the turret. Astral Echo combo. The Avatar, the Guardian will be able to catch him.
Nice.
Even with the revitalized, Keyboy falls. The tree down again, but now in the mid lane, Kyrie's. They get the duality proc. He wants to get the stack here on Shogun. Does he actually have it? He doesn't. He has to get away. Too much of a threat there under the turret.
See the pressure now being applied by Onic, and because of that they have a 2,000 gold lead, but it seems like BTR are not letting up. They're already able to push down the bottom lane and are about to push up top. Eman is moving really well. Comes to the map movements, died already twice, but at least makes up for it by split pushing and still gaining a lot of gold. He is unfortunately behind Kelra, his counterpart, but at least he's making something happen for BTR right now. Doesn't erase the fact that Onic is leading by 2,000 and they have allowed Kelra with 1-0-1 as they
Nice, dikit lagi, mampus.
Oh, he tried to dodge. What a play from Niall and Emon. Able to make a move. Now
Astaga.
they'll recoup it though as they also take down Emon. And that kill went over to Kyrie, so but he's dead. But you know, the turret did the job there for him.
Yeah. Eventually. I'm gonna be pushing in the middle. Great kill of the Kyrie. A great shutdown overall coming out from BTR. 22 seconds before the Lord, they needed to make a play. Unfortunately for Niall, is still trailing behind a lot from his opposition right now. So there's still a lot that needs to be done here by the side of BTR for them to come back to this game. But then again, Keyboy already positioned himself into the so-called new bush. Will be spotted out by Finn for now.
Okay. Lord is up. Let's see some of the focus here. Let's see what Onic decides to do. They can play the macro just because they have the Louis in tow. Both junglers wanting to grab their purple buffs, getting situated for this Lord fight. Oh, diversion. Diversion used here, setting them up top. Astral Echo being dropped down. They're just going to go for the fight anyway. Kyrie be able to dodge that with the iframe. Niall's going to have to go back to base, so this is an open opportunity for Onic to go ahead and start up this Lord. Under half health, Shogun gives the information. Finn's going to pop the conceal. They're going to try to delay this so that Niall can get here in time, but it's already gone. Lord secured by Onic. And now Niall jumping into the backside, looking for
Nice.
a possible kill. He'll find
Mampus,
Suns.
Bupeng.
A pick up there they were looking for, and now Niall again cabling away. Avatar the Guardian, Finn trying to grab their attention. Kelra takes a shot with the shatter. He's going to back off, but they're going to force him away.
Mati itu Keyboy.
Trying to get away, but Daytona's welcome.
Dikit lagi. Nice, satu lagi. Ah.
Keyboy and Loopy fall. The front
Gigi, yo, kita yo.
Oh, great team fighting coming out from BTR. They have
Cing.
the lead that Onic was able to build, and it didn't matter if Onic was able to blitz alert away from them. Their team fighting was great. And that time, Kelra didn't have the flicker, so he didn't feel that confident to command his team into a fight. And Lutpi as well as Keyboy just overstayed their welcome. And BTR utilizing Shogun again, this time offensively. I feel like for BTR, if they play like this, if they are the ones to jump the gun onto Onic, there's little to nothing that Onic can do. Again, their lineup is more of a dive composition, and with the vision that they get from Moreno, they are well informed about what Onic will want to do. Look at that ultimate catching 4. The Astral Echo finding out what Onic wanted to do. That already meant that Nile was able to skitter through and sneak a purple buff.
Push Lutfi.
Oh, wow. Talk about a turnaround so far. Nile able to make something happen here again. Just able to shred through, you know, who you'd think is the tankiest or one of the tankiest, but so far, both Lutfi and Keyboy had a really difficult time at you know, fronting up on this front side for Onic. Might have to be in one of those cases where now you lean towards Kelra here if you're Onic to go ahead, and he should have his power spike. I mean, that Kelra's carry should be online, but it's more so of these fights, the way they're unfolding. They're just kind of getting outplayed by Bigatron by Vitality.
Sure. This makes it really difficult now for Onic. With the composition that Vitality has, this is very oppressive. You really have to find a way to get to the Novaria, which we said that we'll have a free game essentially in this game, and it has been so. Moreno is 2-0 and 4. There's not much that can contest him. And then eventually Shogun will be so tanky that he's no longer threatened by the damage of Onic. Well, Kelra is always going to be a threat, but you are tanky enough that you expose Kelra for far too long. So there has to be a creative way of Onic finding an angle to eventually take out BTR. Otherwise, it's going to be easier for BTR to maneuver into the fights. They're already going for the diversion play, but they're not going to find anyone.
Well, they'll find Kyrie's buff anyway, so he's not going to have that. The Lord comes up. Emon will make his way slowly down here. The rest of the team already set up, but you can see in this, man, the Star Shatters, even on Lutfi, already do a decent chunk of damage to the health bars. Moreno dropping down the Astral Echo. Extra hitboxes being extended here too. Now Keyboy, he's got to be careful because we've already seen him shredded down so quickly on this Belric, especially with a Fanny flying around. Emon spotting the Lutfi here. They might try to make a play instead of the Lord. We're in now Onic on the back front. They got to go ahead. Keyboy, oh man, a quarter of the health.
Yeah. Whew. And Niall's already working on the Urge Stem. He's low. But be careful. Kyrie forced to pop one of the iframes. You can see how menacing Eman is right now with this Paquito. He's going to be able to burst down the members of Onic. And then if you pair that up with Moreno's damage output and the constant Astral Echo in the face of Onic, it's going to be more difficult.
Avatar the Guardian on the defense already used. Onic comes in with a diversion. And after that push up top by Nile, that wave's going to be managed. Now, they're going to fight for this Lord. Half health on it. Finn charging up the Unbreakable. Goes
Yuk, Nile. Goreng-goreng. Nice, mampus. Apa lagi? Aduh, Finn. Shogun.
So far, a big trade across the board, but now Iman.
Dia yuk, Lordnya dulu yuk.
Moreno trying to keep things together while Nile's also on the hunt here. He's quite low, but he'll be able to secure the Lord. Bigatron by Vitality comes out with a win.
And all they had to do was to find the man advantage. It was already enough for them to take out the members of Onic. This time again, Onic just can't position themselves properly. They tried to go for a cheeky diversion play, which was, with all due fairness, ambitious but almost got there. Almost taking out the outplay coming out from Suns to survive against Nael. But that was just for BTR to secure that turret because it will be just the Luyi to defend. It wasn't successful in doing so. Onic now have lost control of the game as BTR are leading by 3,000, and all it took was for them to punish Onic when Onic tried to go for a 5v5 against them.
Let's see if they can do it here. Lord slowly making its way. Good push in the mid and top as well. Daytona's welcome. Throwing it in the wall. Chopping him up, throwing him down. Keyboy gonna pop the Revitalize. They want to hold down this front side. Niall's just gonna make his way up top. He wants to take out the base turret as Lord goes down and dealt with, but good response from Kyrie. He won't let it happen. Diversion. Where are they gonna go? Into the jungle. They're looking to cut things off. They're gonna go right into this one. And now Finn gets taken out. Well, Emon, is he gonna try to do this? Oh no, he's fully stacked up. He's gotta get out of enemy lines. He's waiting patiently. It's only Lutfi.
For now, it's not big threat. Information is important. Could be gonna be seeing Eman get away from there. Good fight coming up from Onic. Go for the -1, but it's not nearly enough. Niall wants a piece of this purple buff. They're trying to go for the exchange, but it's Kyrie who secures it.
Thanks for the leash, says Kyrie. He's basically do a little damage with the buff. Finally, Kyrie gets his purple. He's gonna go ahead and grab his orange next.
Yeah.
Really nothing that they really want to focus on until that Lord comes up in about a minute, but if maybe if they can get a kill here. Maybe if they can get a kill, make something happen. Again, Lord's not going to be up for 40.
Yeah. It's going to be a long time for both teams to recover this one. Kyrie going in for the Blade of Despair as his fifth full item in this game. Lutpi actually went for the Sky Guardian helmet, which I wanted to talk about earlier. Which is interesting because you generally want resistance rather than raw HP as well as regeneration because you have plenty of that anyways. But I guess because of the amount of poke that BTR is throwing at him, it feels like, okay, maybe during long team fights, during Lord dances, maybe I can get out of the fight, regen up by myself.
Yeah.
Then try to fight another day, but now in comes the Lord. Spawned at 17 minutes. Onic will defend their bottom lane. A little bit of long lane setup out there coming out from Lutpi. Diversion gonna be used. And BTR just...
They want to go for Shogun. They're going to go right for Shogun. He didn't have the stacks. And now he's taken out. They're going to go and dissipate.
Nile.
He's got the room
Hancurkan Nile.
here, but oh,
Nice.
Nile goes in. Moreno will cap out the kill
Nice.
with a window
Come on.
nature. So BTR turns it around to fall. They're going to be looking for more. They're chasing down Kyrie. Moreno might be able to get a shot. Nile's going to go ahead and join in. Cable's not going to connect on that one. That's not what he wanted, but he gets Lutpi anyway. BTR will win that fight. And it was one that Onic started for Shogun.
Nice.
Jumping in, he takes out
Itu,
Boy,
Kairul.
cutting down a tree. And now it's only Kyrie to watch the
Kairul,
turret
mampusin,
down. He's gotta
mampus.
try to dodge, but he can't. They get
Air.
wiped out. And BTR will take game one.
Both teams
Yo,
getting
yo,
what they
Pero.
want when it comes to the draft, but eventually Vitality. When we said that their draft looks so complete with that last pick cannot catch up with that Novaria, it looked very cohesive and they look really good. For the first few minutes it was Onic controlling it, but when the power spike happened for side of BTR, they just can't be stopped. That's just game number 1, however, of this best of 5 series. Plenty of MLBB to be played all throughout the day. We're gonna be talking about that match pretty soon, but for now, gonna be hopping into a break.
әр қадамы жаңа жетістікке жетелейтін марафон. Біз осы жолда сіздермен бірге 10 жылдан бері жүріп келеміз. Тимур Құлыбаевтың халық қайырымдылық қоры.
Центр кредит банкымен сіз қарапайым және заманауи шешімдердің ортасындасыз. Нық сеніммен жаңа мүмкіндіктер ашып, тексерілген сапаға сеніңіз. BCC KZ мүмкіндіктерді кеңейтіңіз.
What a phenomenal, sensational moment, you guys. We just witnessed. We just watched how Onic has lost a first time ever throughout this tournament of Game of the Future, the first map ever. And it's in the grand finals against Bigatron by Vitality. What a surprise, you guys.
I would say historical moment for Games of the Future for Onic, because this is a first. Time that Onic lost to a team like Bigatron. They took the game. I mean, that was very close game, I would say, really close. Good fight, very good fight. This is what we want to see, actually. I mean, proper finals. Like,
I mean, just like like you said, the game was an intense, close game. An intense, close game is our beloved general partner who is sponsoring this wonderful tournament, beautiful tournament, which is Freedom. We'd like to appreciate Freedom for making this beautiful event such as game everybody.
wow, what a game. I mean, just what we wanted to see as a first game of the 5, possibly 5, we still don't know. Have actually go on as undefeated team, and it's more predictable. Like, if they're going like that, then maybe it's gonna continue like that. But what a game. We want to see this is what we want. But we got the highlights up on the screen. I mean, we have Onic fans here all around the arena, and they'll be getting ready. Both the teams be really excited, but yeah.
On the second, until the second Evolved Lord was even.
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying so hard to keep up with the game because a lot's been happening on the map. As you can see on the highlights, we are at around 5th minute mark, and Onic had a clear lead by then. I mean, initially, I believe around 3k gold advantage was there, but then as it went through, Bigatron actually stepped up their performance. And
twice they picked a hero called Novaria.
yeah,
And that Novaria actually helped them to win the second and the third game against Team Aurora game.
yeah.
Right?
And now that happened again.
Yeah, now it happened again. That's what I see. Like, I saw that coming in.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Onic wasn't really paying much respect for this Morino Novaria, because he's been playing it 2 games in a row. Yesterday against Team Aurora Gaming, and he got a victory, and because of that now he's playing at the grand finals and actually winning Team Onic. It's just surprising moment from here. And also I'd like to mention, I mean, Barret, the heroes that I was saying earlier, has been picked and being one of the best heroes here at the Game of the Future, according to statistics and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, just an incredible game overall.
Of course, I think around the 17th minute we saw a tie. So I really thought Onyx gonna come back again, just how they used to before in every game that they played so far. But then Bigatron was like, oh, they went for it. They really went for it. I mean, this is gonna be a tough grand finals that we're gonna be having here at the arena. We got the stats up on the screen. 4 kills in lead by Bigatron against Onic, and this is only the first game now. This is going to be interesting to see how this goes.
I mean, I would be very surprised if Bigatron by Vitality keep the momentum and keep it going, and then maybe get the second game again. I mean, that would be very horrendous if they're going to do that. We see the scoreboard here. Meanwhile, I mean, Keyboy and Ludwig couldn't do much against the pressure of the team Bigatron by Vitality over there. We see Morino was 408 on the Novaria. As I was saying earlier, the Novaria draft picked the hero has made the problems for Team Aurora Gaming, and now it's making a problem for the team of Onic.
Now we are yet to see if they're gonna come back with the same pick for the next game as well. We don't know yet. The next draft and bans. Possibly they're gonna ban the Novara overall. We never know. But before that, before we talk about the next one, I mean, make sure you go check out Yandex Go. You got the QR up on the screen. Scan it. Download the app because that's gonna make your daily life a lot easier. You got everything in one app. Make sure you check that out. Thanks for Yandex Go for being a partner for this one because we are having a great time here. First game, I'm so thrilled to see how this is gonna unfold. We got more stats coming up on the screen pretty soon. But if you initially when it started, I mean, Kyrie started with the first blood and then Sans went with a double kill soon after that. But yeah, we got the stats up. We got Kelra versus Iman on the screen now. How does that look, Steel?
For me, it does look exactly identical. From all of our perspective, the gold is a little bit more towards the Iman and a little bit damage more to the Iman, yes, but the same thing. Kill participation identical. Damage taken, well, a bit of swing, but KDA is the same as Kelra. And for you guys to understand, Kelra is playing from the behind. They've been losing the game, whereas Iman was winning the game. So there's a little bit differences, but for me, the most notable player is definitely the guy who played on Novaria, which is Moreno. That was an outstanding performance for me. And
there we go.
So the way I think the broadcast people think, and this is I think 75% of the kill participation over there, 600 GPM. I mean, 408, the guy is a GOAT, the guy is here to win a champion. And, you know, I'm so excited to see the team who are not scared of other team. And respect is another thing, but in terms of when it's a competition day, you gotta be a killer, right? Like the other people were saying, and now Bigatron by Vitality is making a surprise and sensation here because this is the first time
he went for a couple of games with the Uranus, so I was more like, okay, this is going to be good. But then Novara came up with Moreno, so I mean, this was a very tough game, I would say. I cannot really deny the fact that for both the teams, they fought really hard. And I think by the almost 5.5 minutes, I mean, Bigatron's turrets were almost down, I would say. But the way they pulled it off at the end, that was great. And then a few more things. I mean, there was around 8 minutes mark, they had a 3k gold advantage for Onic, which is good. And of course, and then the whole game went in a different way. At 9:50, we had Kyrie taking the load out. And then around 14th minute, I'd say Onyx, pretty much all the outer turrets were gone except for one on the upper lane, which was almost down, I would say. We can consider everything as gone, but by that point, I believe Onyx was pretty much, I mean, we were pretty much sure where the game was going unless they make a comeback. And I think after 14th minutes, Bigatron actually made an attempt to get to the base, but Kyrie somehow responded and took it back in control. But at the end of the day, I mean, they went for it. Bigatron went for it.
I mean, let's be real here. Nobody could have taken a single map from the team of Onic, and Bigatron making a pull off from the pro esports. Then they're facing Aurora Gaming. They're losing 1-0 from both of the teams. They're coming back through on the second and third map. Against both of the teams, and now they're playing at the grand finals here at beautiful Astana and making
skor berapa bang? 1-0 buat BTR bang.
It's really sensational. I'm so hyped up, and I'd be happy to see them actually
1-0 BTR ya.
Be happening forward. And my tongue is twisting now. It's just like I have so much emotion to express you guys how big is this win is for the team of big.
Oke guys, jangan lupa sambil menunggu match keduanya bantu tap-tap layarnya dulu boleh. Kita tembuskan 1000 dulu boleh lah. Tap-tap layarnya dibantu boleh. 1000 saja boleh. Oke, sambil menunggu babak kedua ya. Sambil menunggu babak kedua boleh sambil dibantu tap-tap layarnya. Oke, thank you abang-abangku yang sudah bantu tap-tap layar. Bang, kalian pada jagoin mana bang? Kalau gue sih sebenarnya nggak ada jagoan ya, cuman lebih better BTR kali ya, biar fansnya sebelah itu nggak berisik. Kan kalau Onic juara pasti berisik banget sosmed bang. Tapi kalau kalah berarti alasannya lah piala Ciki. Ya, walaupun nggak resmi ya dari Muntun, cuman ini kan termasuk turnamen internasional, isinya juga 11-12 sama MSC kemarin. Jadi ya nggak ada lah. Skor berapa bang? 1-0 buat BTR bang. 1-0 buat BTR. Oke bang, dibantu tap-tap layarnya terus bang, sambil menunggu match keduanya. Ini nggak tahu nih, hobi banget ceramah ini orang ini, lama. Oke bang, kalian dukung mana bang? Boleh di komen ya, kalian dukung mana? Kalau gue sih BTR bang, biar fansnya nggak berisik kalau menang. Fans kuning berisik banget soalnya kalau timnya menang bang. Oke, thank you yang sudah follow. Jangan lupa dibantu tap-tap layarnya juga. Sambil menunggu game kedua ya. Sebentar lagi akan mulai. Sebentar lagi akan mulai draft pick lagi nih. Oke, nah ini si Bopeng. Eman ngegendong banget sih guys. Gila permainan fighternya ya. Oke, Marcel di band. Kita di sini Freya, oke. Eudora mungkin bisa, Eudora. Esmeralda, oh Atlas. Oke. Wah, takut dia sama Melisanya Eman. Melisanya Eman yang buat BTR kemarin ngalahin mana guys di MSC kemarin guys. Juventus lawan apa bang? Juventus lawan Semesta guys. Nggak punya jersey sport bang, jadinya pakai jersey yang ada aja. Kebetulan BTR pakai putih, ya udahlah, gue pakai putih juga. Oke, satu band lagi apakah Eudora? Eudora, Esmeralda, Uranus, so Fanny. Fanny-nya di band. Apakah Hirara? Apakah Hirara akan di band? Kamu di akun resmi LMBB nggak ada live? Iya bang, ini turnamen bukan resmi Muntun ya. Ini turnamen internasional yang non resmi. Yang resmi kan itu kayak MSC, kemudian M Series, MPL, itu yang resmi. Ini bisa dibilang nggak resmi sih bang, cuman internasional. Jadi mereka bisa dibilang mungkin nggak boleh ya, nggak boleh nayangin. Jadi cuma bisa ditonton dari akun-akun restreamer doang. Oke, Uranus untuk Shogun atau Pin ya nanti nih. Eudora mungkin, Eudora atau Link atau Hirara akan diamankan dulu oleh Onic. Eudora, Hirara, atau malah Esmeralda. Tapi ini live kan, bukan siaran ulang? Iya bang, live bang. Live ini bang, mulai jam 8 tadi. Oke, Esmeralda, Eudora masih oke. Oh, Matilda, Hirara. Udah berapa? 1-0 untuk BTR bang. Babak pertama dimenangkan oleh BTR. Biar fansnya gak berisik bang. Si kuning kalau menang fansnya berisik banget.
Gonna be able to go ahead
Sumpek
and
lihat
do a
sosmed.
lot more than
Haha.
what he felt like he could do on a belt. His main job literally is to just post up that rapid
BTR
fire
negara mana bang?
now with the mentality of
Konoha bang.
you can take off.
Dua-duanya Konoha ya.
They take it away from BTR as well, which BTR would
Dua-duanya
really
Konoha.
appreciate. Imagine playing the Uranus.
Kita nggak boleh nyebut Indonesia kemarin guys.
So much tankiness that could be found in
Ya
there.
perwakilan
So,
MPL ID.
now pick up the better rig for yourself as BTR.
MPL
Position that
KH Konoha.
was able to had before, but now they will prioritize
Oke,
the
Cloud.
Varia, and then as well
Kalau diambil oleh Eman,
this Cloud for themselves.
Eman nggak fighter lagi.
maybe Onic now will
Padahal gigi banget Eman kalau pakai
progress,
fighter guys.
although it has good synergy with both the hero as well
Oke,
as
satu lagi boleh ke
maybe just the presence of this Varia
Esmeralda mungkin.
to not pick up that Barrett. But also it is
Harusnya
a-
Esme sih. Kalau pelatihnya
Maybe
coachnya
now they're
pinter ya.
looking for a dive. What if they pick up something like an Alice
Yang
instead?
pinter harusnya Esmeralda sih.
EXP lane. But
Sebelum
now,
di ban.
later on, I think that right now you're more concerned about your killer hero. Harith is available, so is
Kita mau
Rich,
ngambil
so
Belerik.
they'll be able to pierce through this Uranus
Better
eventually.
Esmeralda sih.
I wonder if they just end up
Oh,
saving-
Barat,
yeah,
boleh.
because I was thinking Kelra can just play so many
Barat.
different things that you typically see Onic kind of bank that and wait. Like it's usually the Kelra pick that comes in last. So I was thinking Barrett's too. Although Alice would have been great.
Oke, next band
because it's
mungkin
usually
akan ke Link.
you just have so much of ways to go ahead and utilize your
Link.
Daytona's welcome, regardless of if it's by yourself
BO3 kah?
or then you
Oh, belum tahu nih tadi bang. Oh ya, oh bukan. Final bang. Final itu BO7 bang.
Flask of the Oasis comes in.
Final
I
BO7.
think that makes a big difference in a lot of these fights, and that's why Matilda has been so, valuable for a lot of these lineups. And you gotta think too. Now that you know this is back-to-back games for Moreno and the Navaria, like you've gotta just respect.
Oke, boleh sambil di tap layarnya bang ya.
Essentially, will not be.
Oke,
seeing
Minotaur
Moreno. Like,
ditutup.
That's one thing I noticed about him, like playing Navaria. Not only his
Minotaur
accuracy,
ditutup.
like,
Mungkin
crazy,
dari
it's
BTR-nya
also
akan
the fact that
ban
trying to find him, trying to get to
ke
him.
Gotland ya.
It almost feels like
Gotland.
it's too difficult of a task for Onic to do because his positioning on the Navarre
Harit mungkin.
is just really good. Obviously, that really helps.
Harit
his
mungkin akan di ban.
kind of go through walls and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things where again, it provides so much
Harit apa
vision.
lagi ya?
There was a time, remember,
Oh, Harit
Navarre was like
atau
the go-to pick in the mid lane, and
Clean?
she's had this kind of resurgence back into the meta now.
Oh, Brody di ban.
The reason why that is because it has good matchups in
Kemudian satu lagi dari Onic.
that cannot reach her. And
Kemungkinan
most
oh ya
importantly,
Nolan.
it's, also
Bener.
a hero to
Nolan
contest
lagi
with
OP juga guys.
We saw how much damage we can do from long distance, and Melissa can just easily freely hit when there's a Novaria around because the damage output of the Novaria. But it's going to be the Nolan. And
Oke,
then
ban satu
Brody with
lagi.
probably Ranger ban here to
Esmeralda mungkin.
BTR.
Tapi Esme udah enggak sih Gotland.
It's a
Harit
strong
sih harusnya.
hero.
Oh, clean
So
benar.
we can actually,
Benar clean.
match up. Oh, it's the
Karena
yes,
clean
the-
sakit juga ya.
feel like, which is also a good option, all things considered.
Tapi harusnya
With how
kemudian ngambil
Onyx
Kari
is
sih, Kari atau Moskov mungkin.
as well as this Hirara,
Jadi biar
they are more
penetrasi
into the
Uranusnya bisa
mid lane.
tembus.
But we'll see. Onyx now.
Jadi butuh hero-hero DPS ya.
Oh, sorry, they're mid laner.
DPS mungkin bisa Kari lagi boleh.
To play again. What do you think
Moskov.
of Xavier, right?
Atau kalau mau nekat ya Harit sih. Cuman kalau Harit
Oh,
ketemu
man, I
Uranus
don't
ya
know.
agak berat
I don't know
guys.
for that crazy. Maybe. Oh, what does he just go? There's no ultimate you want to take here. You don't take Valentina here, right? If you're sons. I mean, other than okay, I guess you do.
No, the Astral Echo is
Valentina.
actually a good, ultimate to copy, all things considered.
Which one?
Valentina, oke.
The Astral Echo.
Astral Echo. I guess so. Yeah, at least you have
Link,
But
But you gotta
Can
get
you
to
reach
him,
him?
you know.
Link
Exactly.
bisa.
you gotta reach him.
I was kind of
Kalau
second guessing it, like
Joy
get to
atau
Moreno, you know. The whole point was is that's so difficult to get to him.
Yeah.
itu enggak, kayaknya better Link sih harusnya.
Last
Are
two
you
picks.
thinking now? What are you thinking now, BTR?
All right, they still need their jungler and then their roam. So I think at this point, you know, you're against Hirana. Maybe
Enggak
there's
bang,
no
ini
other-
BO7 bang.
probably
Final soalnya, enggak BO3.
other option we've really seen.
Kalau BO3
come through, so they
BTR menang sekali lagi udah juara berarti. Ini BO7 ya.
something different.
Jadi harus menang 3 kali. Oh ya Hayabusa, nice, nice banget.
Second, as the second best.
Sorry.
There's the Hayabusa as well. Okay, so they still pick up the higher here. There are those.
Oke, thank you yang sudah bergabung. Jangan lupa dibantu tap layarnya juga, Bang.
But already I like the composition that the BTR has built.
Oh, bener Harit ternyata. Nekat sih Harit.
Leave it to BTR to just do some weird things, you know? Like we said this going.
Kalau gue lebih suka bandnya. Ya emang justru kuatnya kuat Onyx sih guys. Cuman yang penting jangan sampai late game aja. Late game Harit kuat. Cuman tetap optimis BTR ya. Tetap optimis BTR biar fansnya nggak berisik. Elbow peg.
The Hayabusa is really squishy, right? But now that you kind of have some ground to cover with your sustainability with the Raphael, I think that's really great here. So
Ini dia match kedua. Akankah 2-0 atau 1 sama? Kalian dukung mana, Bang? Boleh dong sebutkan tim dukungan kalian di komentar. Oke, welcome to Land of Down.
Bigatron by Vitality up 1 in the series. Let's see if Onic can equalize.
Already the setup here for BTR is good. It seems like whenever they play
Dikit
against
lagi,
Onic,
boy,
they
tuh.
transform and just know exactly what to do and deal with Onic. Onic has been so dominant all throughout this tournament, and it seems like it's BTR that has got their number. And that's also true with NPL Indonesia. Everybody was just dropping their games up against Onic. Onics are so dominant. But in comes BTR.
Tolong sama Nail, guys.
They are the better team against Onic. It seems like they're feeling that again. Not unless Onic decides otherwise. Not unless they do something really different right now for them to be able to show us something, some sort of fight against BTR, especially with this draft that they built.
Pin.
We're starting with here in the middle.
Pin. Mundur aja Pin.
Something along the lines of, I don't know, I think it's more of just Onic finding that form of execution. You know, it's the team fights. Like we already know that
jauh sekali outline-nya guys.
their roles, and they had an amazing
Itu biasanya Uranus ya.
meeting with the grand final that they had. Hold on, mid lane.
Moreno harus tumbang. Tapi Kyrie mampus kau Kyrie.
Shadow kill gonna be used. Revive comes through, and now it's Nile that falls. So that's not going to be worth for Bigatron by Vitality, and that's 2 kills in the hands of Kyrie.
Great start again for the side of Onic. This time they've utilized Kyrie in an offensive manner before the 2-minute mark. They identified that if you are able to force out where Moreno is, this is a good opening for them, and they do have the reach.
Okay, they might be able to go ahead and
Kyrie mendapatkan turtle.
Shogun.
Ya bisa tuh Lupi low. Nice Nail, gila Nail.
He's able to pick up Lutby. So that's 1 kill, but now Onic, they know this. They're going to put pressure on the mid, and out of the goal. Finn's gone.
Tapi Shogun.
Looking for more. BTR firing back.
Shogun
Now
tumbang.
it's Kelra to get a kill. Man, Onic.
Gila early-nya ngeri banget ini guys. Banyak sekali team fight yang diberikan oleh kedua tim.
All about the targeting. The first time that they
Sorry, ada kendala teknis.
this Hayabusa, it wasn't as impactful because the targeting wasn't that good. But if you see like Sans, for example, getting picked off in the middle, the timing was perfect for BTR. They are looking at the Hayabusa that's really scary, that can be activatable. Because apart from the healing coming out from
Astraliku dibuka oleh Moreno, nice Nail. Ibunya tumbang. Kelra.
I mean, the shadow kill's already used up, so Nile's not.
Masih selamat Kelra.
Nile building up very quickly. This is very different from the Hayabusa game we saw him play against Pro Esports in the first game, where they actually lost that one. Right now, he's hit that kind of
Kyrie.
potential to just snowball. But opposing him is the Kyrie snowball. So you got two snowballs going down a hill right now. Oh, they're going to be looking for Niall, and they shut him down. And it goes to Kyrie, of all people, who's already got the Sky
Ini
Piercer.
BTR agak kurang respect sih sama Hiraranya Kyrie guys.
But what a play
Dilepas
coming out
terus.
from Onic. As they now use their game sense to find where Niall will be. They secure a purple buff for themselves as well. They take it away from Niall, so that was a costly death for the Hayabusa. Not having, oh, that's the purple buff, but yeah, they're trying to invade as much as possible.
Kyrie has lived in his jungle.
Yep, for sure. And they're doing it again.
Oh, they're doing it again. They know his retribution's down, so they're going to take the buff. And you can see, man, Kyrie's got an XP lead. Oh, they're going to re-engage. Shadow Kill going to be used on Sam. He's still going to be okay with the shields, though. And now the rest of the team join it. Both gold laners going at it. Blaze and Do It was already used. They're going to go for Niall. They'll take up one wall.
Nice, Moreno.
From the Maestro Moreno. This is what we were worried about. If you're opposing this Novaria,
Oke, Astraiko dibuka oleh Moreno. Nyaris saja Keyboy.
And he should be able to survive. He's got some shields, but hold on. Moreno's going to line one up. And also
Kelra.
the gold lane. Kyrie's looking
Kyrie.
for
Kyrie dikit lagi. Kyrie itu dikit lagi. Astaga, mana? Mundur aja tadi.
Oh, Kyrie is back 5-0 and 2. Game 1 was more of a warm-up game for him, so it seems that this time is actually showing his prowess as the assassin. Trying to outplay a lot of people out there in the bottom lane, eventually getting 2 kills.
Kelra pindah line guys.
I would assume 3 or 4 stacks from the Sky Piercer. Gonna be a really good start now for this Hirara.
Turtle spawn.
Now they are just leading by 1,000 though, because BTR, with all due fairness, they are retaliating. And the kill out to
Kyrie masih mengintip-ngintip saja.
So, Onic cannot celebrate that yet, this game just yet, especially because BTR are showing their teeth now. They're showing that they can actually fight into this neutral objective.
Seems like they want to continue to fight here. Half health, last turn of the game. Will this be a 3-for-3 for Onic? Moreno lining things up. Both Astro Echoes being used here. They're going to go for it.
Kyrie mendapatkan turtle yang kedua.
Shadow Kill going to be used into the Zaman Force. They go now. Loopy looking for an opening here too.
Aduh, preman tumbang. Hati-hati Shogun, hati-hati Shogun. Traliko dikeluarkan oleh Moreno.
They're going to be happy with that little sidestep too here. Potentially a re-engage. They just back off. Sounds very low.
Sans tembak mampus tuh. Ah, nggak nyampe.
Not enough distance on there. And they'll take the tier 1 after the fight. Oh, Kelra.
Over the dance. And 2 quick kills for Kelra. That's not a double, but he did take
Gila
out
banget. Parit nih guys.
before that, which is
Gue bilang apa? Dari speed drop menang Onic sih.
Are now gaining ground. 7 minutes and 40 seconds in. They lead by 3,000. They're feeding kills into Kelra and most importantly onto Kyrie. And already there's a big change when it comes to the non-verbal cues. You're looking at a camera for Onic. If you're looking at their camera, I mean, everybody's so happier. Every now it's lighter now. The ambience around the Onic side of the stage. And BTR, can they actually mount a comeback here? It's the War Access was the Hunter Strike only for Niall at this point.
Ooh, okay. This is still relatively close, it seems, based on the team fights. Now there's a gold lead for Onic right now. You're going to be taking the purple buff, though. They continue to put pressure towards Niall.
Biarkan saja purple buffnya.
13. I know Niall's almost a level.
Itu nonton GoTV lewat apa bang? Nah, streaming di sini aja bang, karena di akun resminya nggak ada. Soalnya bukan turnamen resmi ya ini bang. Nonton di sini aja bang.
They only have 2 turrets down. They're eventually going to get 3 here as Kelra knocks the top one off. But it looks like BTR wants to go ahead and open up the map a little bit themselves too before the Lord comes up. But they don't just get that turret just in time now. Oh, could this potentially be bad? Good coverage from
Ini dapat linknya dari emang khusus streamer ya, dikasih link.
The long lane has been pushed heavily in favor of Onic. There are 5 members of Onic around here.
Lord mulai dicicil saja oleh tim Onic. Shogun mengawasi.
That's not going in favor of BTR right now. So it seems like Onic are just gonna take this Lord away from
Oke, sore akan dilepas saja Lordnya oleh tim BTR. Nggak mau mengambil resiko.
They'll go ahead and grab themselves the Lord. Now Onic can start to look to take down tier 2 turrets. I'm not sure if they're going to get to the base ones just yet, based off the way that BTR has been fighting, they can try to maintain what they can again. Emon might have to go ahead and utilize Blaze and do it here, but their clear is pretty good. He's going to go ahead and push that
Astralico dikeluarkan oleh Moreno.
potentially deal with the Lord too. Actually, he's going to go back to base as tier 2 bottom side will be taken by Onyx. So now BTR on the defense. Nile, oh no, he's actually going to get stopped from recalling. He's going to be able to escape this, but Kyrie is going to chase him down. Oh, he goes back. Let's go. He's going to go into the jungle, and now they're going to hunt him down. Nile's going to have some fancy
Mana
footwork
Nile?
for this.
Oh no.
He gains some space, but oh, Keyboy's going to chase him down anyway.
Gila.
Flicker, and he goes back to the shadow, but Nile's got nowhere to go after this. He's been hunted down. Let's see if he can take out some minions. He's
Tinggal
gonna buy a little
gocek,
bit more
gocek,
time for the rest of the
gocek
team
saja.
until he's eventually taken out by Kyrie, and that's another stack for Kyrie.
Yeah.
Delete-nya di Cibran kok udah lewat menit 10 ya bang? Ini juga menit 10 bang. Ya mungkin beda-beda ya bang ya. Soalnya linknya harusnya sama sih.
Oh, Luffy falls. Shogun could be next here. They're going for it. Shogun, oh, barely surviving. BTR will be able to go ahead and defend. They maintain that top holy defense shield. A shot on Kyrie, but still, I think they're happy with that. Again, as I mentioned with that first Lord, they just want to go ahead and
Gila Onyx mendominasi guys. Cuman harusnya Eman sih ini harapan terakhirnya. Tunggu Eman jadi dulu ini baru bisa comeback. Cuman satu sisi ada Elra juga guys. Harit late game sakit banget. Ini game keberapa? Game kedua bang. 1-0 buat BTR. Game pertama dimenangkan oleh BTR. Game kedua.
Let's see if BTR can still fight into this. They still have 30 seconds before that Lord comes up.
Astralico dibuka oleh Moreno. Biar saja oleh Nile langsung saja. Hanya mencicil. Bopeng ketinggalan.
Shogun just standing there menacingly, saying, "You guys got to go through me." Basically, a lot of ultimates being expended, but now attention toward this buff to try to take it away. Kyrie will be able to do that. So this is all part of the plan, I feel like, for Onyx.
Yeah. Especially if they're forcing the Astral Echo out, right? So it will now be available, fortunately.
Oke, Lord sudah
I guess
spawn.
Moreno knows exactly what the cooldown is, and he timed it perfectly for the Lord to be up. So now they're ready. Hayabusa is going to be split pushing top 4. A little bit of defense on the long push, but Onyx feels like they can burst.
Astralico dibuang oleh Moreno.
Fight for this Lord. It looks like they want to
Sedikit lagi Lutfi down. Udah low sekali Lutfi. Oke. Nice Nile. Kyrie-nya low. Nice Kelra mati. Nice sedikit lagi Nile. Gila Nile. Yuk tag Lord dulu, tag Lord. Lord dulu, Lord. Nice. Yuk bisa yuk comeback yuk. Yuk bisa yuk. Langsung one speed push. Ada Cloud harusnya cepet sih. Harusnya bisa dapat sampai turret tengah. Oh masih ada holy defense guys. Oh udah nggak ada ya. Nice. Yuk one strike push. Wah nggak bisa. Ada respawn semua guys. Oke, dalam satu momen BTR bisa mengembalikan keadaan ya guys ya. Lord sudah mulai berjalan dari arah bottom line. Ini Onyx gantian tertahan di base mereka guys. Oke. Astralico sudah dilepas oleh Moreno. Pertempuran terjadi. Bottom turret lane milik Onyx sudah dihancurkan. Apakah akan diselesaikan di sini? Oke, sepertinya BTR akan menunggu the next wave minion ya guys ya.
Right now, BTR might potentially make another go.
Harusnya bisa sih karena high ground defense-nya cuma Kelra sih. Harusnya bisa. Awas. Nice Eman. Fokus turret. Hati-hati. Oke, Lutfi tumbang. Nice. Oke, mundur. Cukup mundur. Oke, next wave sudah meluncur. Cuman HP dari BTR udah mulai berkurang guys, jadi harus hati-hati sih, jangan dipaksa sih. Oke, hati-hati. Nice Nail. High ground defense-nya sudah. Terus Kyrie, nice. Nah, Kyrie tumbang, bisa. 5 minion datang. Bisa sih N. Yuk. N, Eman fokus turret, Eman. Nice. Good game BTR. 2-0. 2-0 Israel. Ini biar fans-fansnya si kuning tuh nggak basic guys. Kan basic banget fansnya si kuning kalau sampai menang. Oh, benderanya per negara ya. Eman benderanya PH gitu. Push kau bopeng. Oke, skor 2-0 untuk BTR, berarti match point untuk BTR bisa lah 3-0. Yuk, bisa yuk 3-0 yuk. Oke, game kedua dimenangkan oleh BTR by Vitality. Walaupun dari awal sempat tertekan, tapi dengan ketenangan mereka masih bisa melakukan comeback manis, bahwa game ketiga menjadi match point dari miliknya BTR. Jadi kalau game ketiga ini BTR menang, bakal langsung juara guys. Oke, sambil menunggu game ketiga boleh dibantu tap layarnya dulu bang, boleh sambil follow. Jangan lupa seminggu lagi MPL ID akan dimulai, partai pembuka antara EVOS melawan RRQ, kedua tim terbesar di MPL ID. Loh, terbukti loh guys, itu kemarin dari voting ya, partai pembukaan itu kemarin dari voting. Jadi yang terpilih itu EVOS melawan RRQ. Kita akan dimulai 1 minggu lagi ya MPL ID. Boleh nonton di sini juga karena kita juga official. Sampai ke game keberapa nih bang? Kalau game ketiga ini BTR menang, langsung juara bang. BO nya BO 7. Jadi siapa yang dapat 3 poin duluan, dia bakal langsung menang gitu ya. Moga aja 3-0 ya guys ya, moga aja 3-0. Oke, sambil boleh dibantu tap layarnya dulu bang, dibantu follow-nya, karena kita nanti bakal menjadi official streamer dari MPL ID juga ya. Jadi kalau mau menonton di sini juga boleh, mau menonton langsung di akun resminya MPL ID silahkan. Tapi untuk pertandingan internasional yang tidak ditayangkan di akun MPL atau akun yang lain, kita akan tetap terus streaming ya. Jadi jangan lupa di follow, jadi supaya tidak bingung ketika ada turnamen internasional yang non resmi dari Muntun. Itu abang-abang bisa menonton di sini. Oke, boleh sambil dibantu tap layarnya dulu bang, sambil menunggu game yang ketiga. Ini game BO7, jadi siapa yang mendapatkan 3 poin terlebih dahulu, tim itu akan menang, dan BTR sudah dapat 2 poin ya, 2-0. Jadi harusnya sedikit lagi sih. Start.
It's first time they lost to Bigatron by Vitality. This is the second time now they're losing actual BO3, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
To the Bigatron Vitality. I mean, guys, they won 2 games against Team Aurora yesterday, right? With a pick of Novaria. The hero has been, let's be real, it's not the most pickable hero at this tournament.
Oke, kalian dukung tim mana, Bang?
You guys are
BTR
giving
apa Onic,
them-
Bang?
Alright, maybe you guys have plan and you guys are giving them the first game, and then now you guys are risk to them. Alright, the first game you guys are giving Novaria. Okay, they lose. You guys
Oke,
lose. Second game.
sambil
it's the
menunggu
same
game
thing.
ketiga,
We
izin
are racing ahead, right?
ngopi dan
Biggest
sebat
one's
dulu, Bang.
on a roll so far. I mean, we are yet to see. By any chance, if the next map goes to Bigatron again, I mean, we are done. We are pretty much done with the grand finals. We don't know yet. But great performance, I would say, by Moreno with Novaria. And of course, Nanel also had put up some great fight right there. We got the highlights up on the screen. As you can see, this was a tough fight for both of them. But I don't know what went wrong with Onic. Just as the last one, I mean, the first blood went to Kyrie again at this time. And starting with a double kill, to be honest. And then I think it went pretty much head to head when the game went on. It was like they were catching up on each other as the game went on. But we are seeing the early games, as they said, it's 2-2. And at some point, I mean, Onic had a lead of 5k goals, but that didn't help at the end, right?
Yeah. Also, I'd like to shout out for Shogun for playing a phenomenal game on Uranus. It's been clearly like really good play from for the whole team of the Bigatron by Vitality here. I mean, we saw the team fights were even all the time, and you couldn't tell exactly who's winning, who's not. It's been always close back and forth game. I'll give a respect to Onic. They've been playing phenomenal as well. I mean, just to be fair, it's like 2 games in a row we see very tight games, but the end of the game, who's winning is Team Vitality. You guys are taking one bad fight and then it takes your towers down, your turrets down.
Yeah.
Completely, it just aberrates your all the turrets are down, and it's just so hard to do anything when when all your buildings are getting exposed within milliseconds.
Yeah, of course. I mean, every time Onic, as you can see on the highlights, every time Onic grabs a kill, Bigatron has been chasing them down, and at this point, around 15 minutes there you go. I mean, Bigatron actually crossed the kill points right there, and of course the Lord Swain helped as well. But there we go. I mean, as you can see now, 15 minutes, they did not have any turrets at all. No outer turrets, no base turrets. Everything's gone at this point.
There's nothing. There's just naked throne, and it's been being harassed right now by the team of Bigatron Vitality. I mean, the guys look humble. They look at their face. They're very serious and stuff. And now, I mean, team of Onic as well.
So we have the stats up on the screen now. 17 kills against 12 kills. I mean, we had some in the middle around 5k lead as for the gold for Onic, but that didn't help at the end. And as you can see, where is Moreno? There he is. 2-1, 12 assists, man. Like crazy.